Hello and welcome to the show. I'm always happy to see new Volvos in Forza, and for the latest DLC pack we get two. Not only do we get the V60, a nice super estate, we also get this. This is the Volvo 1800E. It is the new Barn Find car, and I think it looks absolutely fantastic. I do like the little bit more obscure cars coming to Forza, and yeah, having a rear-wheel drive Volvo is always an interesting thing. And I'm going to go and turn it into a rally car. I hadn't intended on doing another Volvo straight after the S60. However, this was just too good of an opportunity to pass up. So yeah, we're going to take our car. We're of course going to start off with some snow tyres, a very sensible place to be starting with. I do imagine, oh, we're going to have Diddy tyres at the front, and okay, so we're going to be very sideways. The Volvo is going to be all manners of sideways, I would imagine. I was going to say, I don't know if we're going to be able to keep the standard engine. I'm not sure we're going to have enough PI to really get it halfway through S1 class. With the standard engine, we'll give it a try, but I think it quite unlikely. We do have a couple of choices as far as engines go that should do the trick. We're going to, of course, be wanting some off-road suspension. We're going to want all of the handling bits and pieces that we can get on the car. Weight reduction, we're going to actually not too heavy a vehicle to begin with, and we're going to get it down to 2,400 pounds. That's nice and light. One of the lighter vehicles that has gone in this series. So as far as engine-wise go, the standard one, we can put in the turbo rally engine, but that, again, probably won't quite get us to the right PI. Or we can go for the 3.2 litre i6. And in fact, that is the lightest engine of the lot. With the standard engine, even if we turbocharge it, I mean, we're adding on some power, but I think it's very unlikely. We'll give it a quick look, just in case. You know, you never know with some of these cars. No, I think we're not going to be able to. That's only having sort of 50 horsepower. We're not going to be able to do it with the standard engine, unfortunately. This is going to be a very powerful car, I fear. And I say I fear. The reason why I fear this is that we're going to, well, be rear-wheel drive with tiny tyres on the snow. Yeah, I do quite fear. Yeah, we're going to be... we're going to be really putting out the power. So we have gone for a turbocharger on the Volvo. We will get up to 420. This might be one of the most powerful cars we've had, and yeah, having a rear-wheel drive crazy power vehicle is not really going to end, I don't think, particularly up to 525 horsepower in the Volvo. Let's just we're going to keep adding on these. Oh god, we're up to 600 maybe. We probably will pass 600. Ooh. While I think about it, gearbox. I don't know what the standard car's gearbox would be like, so it might not be a bad idea to change. Oh, apparently not too bad. Cool. Yeah, it might not be a bad idea to change that and the diff while we think about it. Not the diffs that are going to make any difference to the PI. I wonder if the gearbox was doing something silly with restricting speed in some manner, which is why the PI was staying low. It didn't. Standard, yeah. Didn't do very much, so... guess we've got to just sort of keep going with the power. Yeah, we've got 20 PI still to work with. Can we... oh, God. That's 680 horsepower. I think this is the downside of having skinny tyres on our cars. 700 horsepower in the Volvo. We're going to die. We are going... well, I say we're going to die. We're not actually going to be going fast enough to die because we're going to be sideways everywhere. Which I can work with that, I guess. At the end of the day, we will get a flywheel, and we have got one PI to find, which we can get with a driveline. There we go. 718 horsepower. Make this the most powerful vehicle to go in this series. 500 torque as well. It is also one of the lightest cars. When we think of the Camaro was still over 3,000 pounds and had less horsepower than this. Now this could be mighty fast if we can stop it going sideways. I think the sidewaysness is going to be the issue. Of course, it is off to the Mountain Peak Scramble Circuit with our crazy Volvo. It is going to get 5 laps around this track in an attempt to go as fast as possible, or more likely try and keep it out of all sorts of bits of scenery. The current fastest time set by a rear-wheel drive car is 1:29.3 by the Mazda RX-8. Maybe if the Volvo is controllable, we might be able to challenge that. Of course, if this can get some traction, it is going to be horrendously fast, accelerating, but that is a very big if. I mean, the fastest time overall is a 25.2, still set by the all-wheel drive Focus Rallycross car. Now, we're not going to be challenging the all-wheel drive cars with this. I'm impressed. Off the line, we seem to do pretty well in terms of getting some traction out of these corners. Perhaps not so much. Slide is very much living up to its name. There's the Volvo is more than happy to be sideways all the way through that second corner. No real bouncing through Rolvia there. Can we be flat out? No, not really. I mean, we can be flat out. It's just going to be very sideways and flat out if you want it to. Now, what are we going to manage over this section? We are just constantly spinning the wheels. There is very little, I say there's very little I can do about it. I'm trying to be careful-ish with the Volvo. Don't end up, ooh! We nearly ended up in the Volvo rocks again. That's, that corner, the Volvos do not like that corner. The Volvos really do not like that corner at all. Diving to the inside, actually not too bad. Over there, off towards the rocks, or not the rocks, off towards the wall again. This is a little bit crazy, to say the least. In fact, this is a little bit crazy. Maybe we just stick it up in 5th. 5th is a good gear, although then we have kind of some turbo lag and there's very little in the way of go. Maybe 4th. Maybe 4th will be the good gear for the Volvo. That's more like it. We can get out of the corner without being madly sideways. Up towards 130 miles an hour by the time we get to turn 1. I think we're going to have to just keep it in high gears. It's so difficult when there is this much power and this little grip in the car. Trying to use second just doesn't work. No matter how much I'm trying with throttle control, it just doesn't quite work. And the similar story with third, you can just about make it work in third, but there is still crazy levels of wheel spin into McRae. We're not going to be flat out because that was all me in a completely terrible line. Not so much problem with the car. Climb the off-piste twist in third gear is going to be the way to do it. I think even then we're struggling with wheel spin. Got to find that very fine balance between going well or lifting off the throttle enough so that we're not getting crazy wheel spin, but not so much that we just stop moving. The hell, we're still sliding around. 4th gear again. I like 4th gear. Come on, we get turned into, oh god, a bit too much oversteer, a bit too much correction as well. Not the greatest piece of driving from me through there that time around. Oh god, I think I might have clipped the ice to the rear of the car. We're all out of position through the gimmies, and it's all got a little bit wrong. The lap started so very promisingly. We're running it very close to some walls around this track. Come on, Volvo, we can get you out of this final corner. Was it 4th gear was pretty good, actually. 4th gear we can accelerate away, and without crazy wheel spin. I'm not sure it's a 35.7. Yeah, we're not doing amazingly well at the moment. We've got to try and be neat and tidy with this car. Uh-oh. Can we put a wheel either side of that ice patch? No, you cannot. I don't know if there is a line that will work through there. If there is, I'm not quite sure about it. I've definitely not been able to hit it at any point I've driven this circuit. There might be a way to do it. I think we've got to. I really do think we've got to try and be brave and have it in third. We just don't have any go when we leave it in 4th. It's a very powerful car, this thing, but we aren't getting the acceleration, I don't think anyway, out of the corners for it to really work, so I'm going to have to be braver and try and manage the wheel spin a little bit better. Come on, Volvo, try and take some corner speed. And again, that Polestar Rock is almost murdering us once more. Turn into this next it's just sideways everywhere. The lack of tyre width is not only hurting our traction at the rear, it's hurting our turn in at the front. So we're not really able... Come on, Volvo, throw the car into a corner. That's kind of working-ish. We're not able to get the car turned in, and then after a lot of arguing with it, it'll eventually start to make a corner, and then the back end will completely and utterly give up with whatever it is that we're doing. Yeah. That is the struggles we have. Yeah, while it's easier, it's certainly much easier to deal with it in fourth out of a lot of these corners. I guess, again, we're only up to 130 once more, down to that, down to the braking zone there. Oh, we're going to end up on the ice. Yeah, not helpful. So it kind of feels a little bit faster because there's a bit more noise going on when we have it in third. I'm not actually sure it makes a huge difference if we're getting exactly the same speeds down that start-finish straight. Now, can we actually be, well, not crashing and almost not really flat out through there? It's just about touching 90 miles an hour, but it's only a just about. It is probably one of the slower cars through McRae. We just don't have enough grip, and that's not so much a wheel spinning at crazy power levels that's the issue there. That is just a lack of overall grip from the Volvo. Now, we've been okay actually up here. We've not been massively fast. I think it's so happy to oversteer that we don't end up heading towards the barriers as much with this car. Come on, dive to the inside of the ice. We're fine through there, and we're fine through the next corner as well. Diabolica coming up. We struggle a little bit to maintain speed. Not so unsurprising, really, through there. This is going to be our penultimate lap. Hopefully this is going to be a better one. It feels like a better lap, this one. Third gear, we're getting it up to 60 on the exit fairly quickly, which is always good. That's more like it, a 31.1 from the Volvo. Can we find any more time as we head on to this last lap? We don't go on the ice out of turn 1. We do not. That is a good start. That is a good start to the lap. I think all of these rear-wheel drive cars I've built since the RX-8 really put into perspective just how good the Mazda was when it came to dealing with the snow. If we were to beat the RX-8, we'd need to be finding over a second, I think. With the fact we'd be needing to find nearer 2 seconds. So, yeah, the Mazda was really very, very good at this snowy rally course. The Volvo now have kind of got the hang of it. It's a little bit tamer. It's still a bit of a crazy machine, I think. I was going to say a dog, but that would be a little bit unfair to it. It's just way too much power to the rear and nowhere near big enough tyres for the car to really excel. Alright, in we go to the next corner. The last Volvo I had around here, I said, had way too much grip for the power. Well, I say that for the power that it had. It had more grip than power. That's the better way of putting it. I think that is the way that I put it last time. This is, completely and utterly the opposite. Way too much power for the grip that it has, but I can't get any more grip in the car. There is no way to do that with the Volvo. Who run up towards the line, it's not going to be a quicker final lap. I think sat right at the very end there, I ran a little bit wide through, couldn't really get the power down on the exit. Yeah. I like this car. I'm really glad that this is in Forza. I think it's a great barn find to have. Whoopsie, we're going for a spin. I meant to do that. Yes, we were meaning to do that. Totally. Yeah, I do very much like having this Volvo in Forza. For the most powerful rear-wheel drive car we have had in this series, I think that's not too bad. Or most powerful car we've had in this series being rear-wheel drive. It could have been worse from the Volvo. However, these tiny tyres just don't help it. There is nowhere near enough grip, whether it be from the rear or whether it be from the front, to really make any serious lap speed around this course. You spend all of your time fighting and trying to be careful, and 31.1 is not too bad in terms of lap time, but yeah, it's a real fight. Quite an interesting one. It's lap time though. Anyway, we'll get onto that. yeah, it goes down towards the bottom of the table. In fact, it will go into 9th place, only beating the Supra Mark III. However, it is incredibly close to the 695 Abarth. You know, we're only talking a few hundredth difference between them. It's only a couple of tenths down on the Camaro Z28, and considering, you know, the size of the tyres that the Camaro got compared to the Volvo, the Camaro had less power than the Volvo, admittedly Volvo, considerably lighter car. However, that might not necessarily be that helpful when it comes out here on the snow when you have this much power going on. So I think that's a pretty good showing, actually, from the Volvo in terms of its lap time here. Yeah. Like the car, really like the car, in fact, just perhaps not the best suited to this sort of thing. However, that is going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.